What does it mean when your boyfriend gives you a hug in public? What about if your girlfriend is what is she trying to tell you when she greets you without her usual smile? Body language tells us a lot about our relationships, and here to talk with us about this topic is relationship expert Dr. Margaret McCraw. She's the author of The Relationship Code. Good morning. Great to have you back.
Yeah, good to be here.
So there are a lot of little things that people do and say that, can mean something more. What are some of those things?
First of all, let me just say, you have to take it within the context.
Yes.
Because if you yes, that's absolutely key. But some of those things could be a smile, obviously, is welcoming. That's universal. Eye contact is very important. You can see in somebody's eyes if they're interested or if they're not interested. I've oftentimes seen people have a conversation with somebody who's looking away, who's not at all interested, and they continue to have the conversation, and I'm thinking, why didn't you postpone that conversation? So pay attention to their eyes. If there's a spark in the eyes, it means they're interested, they're invested, they're engaged. Talking with your hands, that usually means you're committed, you're engaged, you're into the process at the moment.
Do you think some people might read into those too much? Because you could be engaged in a conversation with someone as a friend, but maybe not as something more. How do you decipher which is which? You
have to pay attention to what I call the vibes. I mean, the vibes can be a sexual interest or it can be a platonic interest. You're also looking at what is the pattern. You're not just looking at what's happening in that moment. And sometimes you just have to ask the person.
Hey.
You cannot assume, are you interested, or are you thinking of us in terms of friends? We have such a nice chemistry here, but are you thinking of this in terms of a friendship chemistry or something else?
If you're hoping it's something more, are there signs that you should look for that might say, hey, this could be?
Well, again, especially at a party, if you're just meeting somebody, there's something that's known as kind of catching somebody's eye and pulling away. And this is universal, too. When you catch somebody's eye, you pull away, your eyes either look down or look away, and you keep coming back to that, there's definitely an interest. But again, how much of an interest, what that interest means, you have to ask. Spark in the eyes is a really good way of knowing.
I read on, you gave us a whole list of some things. One of them, stroking of the face. If someone reaches over and fixes your hair for you, that could be a sign. What would that mean?
Well, that could mean a couple different things, but it could mean that they're interested in you, they're engaged in talking with you.
Right. It seems like it.
Yeah, that they want to touch you, that they found a reason, an excuse to touch you.
But this does not mean jump to conclusions, though.
No, no. And that's what people have to really pay attention to. You don't want to jump to conclusions.
It's interesting,
Look at patterns. Look at patterns. There's also some times where people will be doing things that might seem contradictory. The legs are closed mean that you're not open to conversation, but hands, moving the hands means you are. So like right now I'm closed in my legs, but my arms are moving and talking.
Oh, I'm so confused.
So you have to pay attention to the vibes that the person's putting out.
It's amazing what we are saying without even speaking. Dr. Margaret McCraw, we are going to get you to stick around because I know a lot of you have some questions on your love life. So if you have a question, Dr. McCraw will be back in just a few minutes to answer any questions you have about your own love life. You can send them to us on our Facebook page or on Twitter. Well, still to come on Fox 45 Good Day Baltimore. Love or hate them, you could soon own one. Where to buy the Terps' much talked about new uniform.
And I'm Joel D. Smith, live here in Cecil County at an evacuation site. Why do they need this? Take a look. Fort Deposit underwater again. Straight ahead, we'll tell you when the worst, yep, even worse than this, will actually happen.